Hi guys and welcome to another FIFA 23 SBC video. So EA have given us ourselves our first Future Stars player. It is Fabio Vieira. And I just like Fabio Vieira. I think he's just a great player. I know we haven't seen much of him in the Premier League. I don't know if he's had lots of injury issues. I watched him in an away game against Brentford. I think he scored in that game, or at least got an assist or something like that. But, I mean, Arsenal have been great this season, haven't they, with a lot of their other players, so he's not really been able to get a look in there. But two segments to him. If I didn't have the midfield that I do currently have, I'd probably do him, and I'll show you in a second when we compare him with other Premier League midfielders why I probably won't be doing him, just because he doesn't get a look in ahead of the other players in the team. But I remember watching him last season at Porto, him, Otavio, Taremi, Vitinha, such a good team, and Bemba as well in the defence. Really good Porto team, and obviously Vitinha went to PSG, Fabio Vieira went to Arsenal. But yeah, I just like him. I think he's just such a good player, certainly when watching him last season for Porto. But anyway, let's have a look at his stats, and then we'll have a look at what he requires. So 4-star, 4-star. And you can use him in so many positions, and he was a very versatile player when I remember watching him again at Porto. You know, cam, right wing, right mid, centre mid. I guess he could suit any of those positions, although saying that if you are going to use him as a winger, you'd want his pace to be a lot higher. No doubt his dribbling is fine for a winger, but pace-wise, he's lacking there. I mean, personally, I'd be playing him as a cam, because I don't think he's the greatest in terms of height. Yeah, 5'9". I'd be using him as a cam, I think. I mean, whereas in game stats, like, it's a bit of a weird pace split, but not too bad. His shooting stats are extremely good. His passing is fantastic. His dribbling, aside from his balance, is on the whole nice. I mean, his reactions aren't the best in the world. I mean, agility, ball control, in-game dribbling and composure are really good, but yeah, reactions and balance aren't the best. Stamina is nice. The rest of his physicality stats aren't great, and again, there's reason to show why, at least in my opinion, you can't really use him as a centre midfielder. Someone that's 5'9" and then has those really poor physical stats, I just don't think he's a really good viable option for a centre midfielder. As a cam, I think it's a different story. You know, you improve that balance and that reactions, and you got yourself a great cam from the Premier League. His defensive stats, don't get me wrong, are fine for a centre midfielder, but as I said, he just doesn't have the physicality that you need. And I mean, nice player traits. Swerve pass, I haven't seen that on any player this year, so that's pretty cool to have. Flare passes, outside foot shots. It's a good card. I'm surprised with 4-star skills he doesn't have the flair player trait, but that's a good card. But what does he require? He's expensive. 85 and 86. I mean, no team of the week's needed. I don't know how fodder is working at the moment in terms of what it's going for. He's there for the next week. I don't know. I think it's a cam. I think if you're going to do him, you've got to use him as a cam. He's not getting ahead of these. Anyone with common sense knows that. I mean, the case study is to compare him to Mahrez. We had that Mahrez as an SBC. Again, I can't remember what that Mahrez went for in terms of its price or anything from Centurions, but that is going to be the comparison. They're both 89 rated. And when you have a look at other centre midfielders from the Premier League, I mean, I see so many people using Torre, and I know that he is predominantly useful as a CDM, but then a lot of people do tend to move him up to a centre mid, in which that case, and also a cam at the same time. And I think, you know, Torre's obviously a million times better than this Fabio Vieira card. But when you have a look at centre midfielders, obviously you got De Bruyne. Again, with De Bruyne, you're always best moving him up to a cam. You got a few other options as well. Casemiro, this particular card's probably alright as a centre mid, but not as a cam. But then obviously when you have a look at the cams that are available, Sancho, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Okocha, Havertz, Coutinho's player moments. Let's compare him, because that's a card that you can get for free. I want to just try and compare this Fabio Vieira with similar style players, or what I would predict them to be similar style players to. And then if we go to centre mids, now obviously he does offer out good league and good nation links. That isn't an issue at all, and I have no doubt he'll still be a decent player to be able to use. But if we have a look at a previous SBC card in a very similar position and can play similar positions, and then yes, he can't play as a centre mid, but can play as a cam, right winger and right mid. First of all, he's got the pace to be actually a usable option on the right hand side. Compared that 3+ pace difference makes a difference as far as I'm concerned, and it's really low sprint speed in this Fabio Vieira card. And then you have a look at the other stats. I mean, Morris, far superior dribbling, does have less passing. And comparing other stats, I mean, this Mahrez card is so much fun to be able to use in game. Is 5-star skill moves compared to the 4-star Fabio Vieira, but there's not too much actually between these cards when you think about it. I mean, Fabio Vieira's physicality wasn't great, but for a cam position, his physicality actually isn't too bad. He has got better shooting, he has got better passing, but ultimately for a cam position, dribbling is very, very important, and his dribbling isn't bad, but it's not really where you want it for a cam at this stage of the game, post Team of the Year. You don't really want to be using a cam with 80 balance and 81 reactions. He will feel a little bit clunky. It's not like he's got 99 agility, which kind of then would mean that his balance isn't going to be as much of his issue. His agility is okay at 87, but it's still not insane. It's like what the minimum you would want for a cam. So he really does lack a lot in balance and also in reactions, and that is the issue there for using him as a cam. Apart from that, there's no reason why he should be bad as a cam. And then you look at Coutinho, that's a 3 card. And again, I mean, look at that balance. I mean, the reactions aren't the most insane, but still +2, a lot better. His balance and agility are absolutely amazing. Again, just like Mahrez, 5-star skills, it's 4-star and Fabio Vieira. And you do have to kind of add all these things up. Brazilian, Premier League, flair trait, outside foot shot trait. So relatively similar traits to Fabio Vieira. But there are just quite a few players like him that we've already had, and that you're going to be able to get in Coutinho for 3. And I know, obviously, Aston Villa, no disrespect to them, they're not the most insane club for providing links, but ultimately, he's still Brazilian and plays in the Premier League, so it's not going to be that hard to link him. So I think when you look at it at the end of the day, I mean, if you want a Premier League cam right now, you're looking to upgrade a Premier League cam, do you hold out for Coutinho from the swaps? You probably do. I mean, yeah, his pace isn't great, but I mean, using him as a cam, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard because then, Fabio Vieira has got 4 more passing and 2 more shooting and a lot better physicality. I think Fabio Vieira is okay. I don't think he's too badly priced at an 85 and an 86. He certainly shouldn't be anything higher than that. I think it is on the higher end of pricing than what I would have liked. I think they could have made him a little bit more cheaper. And I do look and I think you've got to be improving that balance and reactions. And as far as I'm concerned, yes, he can play in 4 different positions, but I'd only consider using him as a cam. I wouldn't consider using him anywhere else. So that's my conclusion from that. Let me guys know what you think of the SBC. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.